Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I want to say all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you, brothers, throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth in righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed on serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. To you sisters who believe, keep encouraging and supporting your brothers who out here teaching this truth, and always commemorate the sister who washed Yahweh Shai feet when you read the scriptures. All right, I wanted to talk to y'all about sin, right? And you know, we all have our laughs at the expense of others when they sin, but we have to really consider, you know, ain't nobody perfect. And a lot of times in this world adds a lot of rules that aren't even in the Bible. You know, one thing that you have to do as best as you can is not sin. But sometimes how do you avoid it? Sin is all over. People that sin are all over. People that sin want to get you to sin. You know, the main thing is be focused on the scriptures. Like, really have some type of thing in the back of your mind that tells you, yo, I shouldn't be doing that. It should stop at I shouldn't be doing that instead of I shouldn't be doing this. Because by the time you say I shouldn't be doing this, you're already doing something wrong that you shouldn't be doing. You know, it's like you have to build in a sin stopper in your mind. Something should constantly be in the back of your mind. That's why we dedicate our lives to study. We dedicate our lives to the scriptures. Because we have a sin stopper in the back of our minds when we practice this faith, and we really, you know, it's like football, right? You got a quarterback that knows how to, you know, two-step drop or whatever. You take 2 steps and you throw the ball, or you have a clock in your mind. Okay, I usually get 2.5 seconds to throw. You know, you always have something, you know, that you're practicing. You know, that's why, although we live this, we practice this as well. You know, we in Israel, we try to fine tune, especially, you know, especially brothers with the right doctrine, I'll say. Especially brothers with the right doctrine. There's always, you know, you always trying to fine tune and try to perfect yourself. And sometimes when you find things in the scriptures, hey, you know, this is a deeper meaning to this. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you search for deeper meanings in scriptures, and oh, you know, this could mean that. Oh, look at this. You know, being occupied in prophecy, being occupied in the Lord, you know, that will keep you from sin. Having, like I said, a sin stopper in the back of your mind, like, damn, nah, this don't look like something I need to be doing. You know, a man of the Lord thinks before he acts. You know, you have to strategize your life around the scriptures, not try to fit the scriptures to your life. If you know you're a lustful man, you can't sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, because there's excuses to commit adultery or to do whatever sin. I remember one time when I was new in the truth, somebody hit me with some dumb shit that I just knew was dumb. Even though they scriptures, the way the scriptures was worded, like, oh shit. Somebody tried to tell me that it's okay to be a full-blown sodomite, but not a bi. Because he said that, you know, when the scriptures say if a man lieth with a man the way he lieth with a woman, And he was really trying to pound the pavement, trying to get me to believe that shit. I remember this was the Black Planet days when there was all type, well, it's kind of almost the beginning of social media weirdos. This guy said, well, hey, if you don't sleep with a woman, then you can, whatever. You know what I mean? I was like, man, you are fucking bugged out. You are bugged out. There's other supporting scriptures, bro. Like, this is a very novice person. Obviously, clearly. How many times you read the scriptures and people put sodomites out of Israel or out of the world? Not saying that that's what, we're going to be doing today. We're not going to be putting people to death, but, we still can't have that around. It's still wrong. But this guy really was trying to say, oh, a man can whatever. I don't want to even say it. Because, these clips tend to get chopped up for people's pleasure. But adultery, you could be like, oh well, she's already defiled. She's been with multiple men already. That don't mean that you add to it. She has an active boyfriend. Sometimes you have to get the point of the law. Okay, yes, these women ain't virgins no more. At the very least, don't be trying to smash a chick that already has a boyfriend or a husband. If she goes. If there's a guy that she goes home to, or if there's a guy that she acknowledges she's in a relationship with, or even if she doesn't acknowledge him to you, it's wrong. Picture you being the poor fool getting cheated on. You over here all in love with this woman and she's getting ramrodded. You know what I'm saying? It's just, put yourself in people's shoes, man. But with that, I'm going to say shalom.